You click on this video thinking, why in the world is he making a video about reasons to play Bannerlord in 2025, nearly 5 years after it was initially released? I asked myself the same question when I first had this idea, but the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I felt like I should make this video. It's currently August in 2025, so surely everyone has played or at least heard of Bannerlord by now, right? Hell, the hype this game had when it first came out was huge. Everyone was playing multiplayer, creating mods, and enjoying their first ever playthroughs. I mean, everyone had been waiting for this moment since its announcement in Warband. At first, the game was a major hit and a huge upgrade from Warband graphics and gameplay wise. Huge creators were reacting and even playing Bannerlord for the very first time. Even Asmongold had a series with the Bannerlord Persistent Empires mod that got millions of views. But as time went on, the updates got less exciting and eventually less frequent. Communication between Tellworlds and the community slowly started to die off, and the updates eventually stopped altogether. So with all of that hype, millions of views, and a dedicated fanbase that has been creating thousands of mods over the years, what happened and why would I be creating a video about reasons why you should play Bannerlord if everyone has either played it or at least heard of it by now? I think a lot of us, including myself, have been focused on everything Bannerlord does wrong or doesn't even do. We feel that the charm the game had when we all played for the very first time is now gone. So we turn to mods to enhance our experience and end up forgetting that the world of Calradia even exists. But that's not all true. While Bannerlord does still have its faults all these years later, it is still one of, if not the only truly open world medieval sandbox game that lets you the player play however you would like. And this leads me into my first reason, that is that Bannerlord gives you the total freedom to play how you want to play. Similar to games like Minecraft or Crusader Kings, no two playthroughs are the exact same. You can play as a warlord, a merchant, a blacksmith. Bannerlord is a true sandbox. While there are games out there where each playthrough is different from each other, your actions do actually affect the world around you in Bannerlord. Execute a lord, pillage a settlement, or capture a king, the world will remember and react to you. This is the first thing that came to mind when writing this video because this was the main reason I fell in love with Bannerlord. Being able to play as whoever I want, do whatever I want, marry or hire whoever I want, and build an army however I want is what makes Bannerlord fascinating. And that last phrase brings me to my second reason, is that no other game gives you this level of tactical command while on horseback. Sure, games like Total War have large-scale battles that you can manage precisely, but to be on the field with your troops makes everything feel more personal. Building your army composition to your liking, while leveling each troop up through the ranks feels like no other. While in other games you command armies from above, Bannerlord allows you to fight alongside your troops. This makes the relationship between you and your troops much more personal, so managing and building your army means just that much more when you lose them. Leading those armies into battles and sieges, where you can scale walls, fire trebuchets, and lead charges that is deeply satisfying. Leading armies and managing them in Bannerlord isn't perfect, but it is one of the main reasons why I always kept coming back to this game, outside of mods of course. Speaking of mods, that brings me to my third reason. It might sound a little counterintuitive to mention mods when I was just talking about vanilla Bannerlord, but can you really talk about Bannerlord without at least mentioning the modding community? What this community has been able to do with this game is unreal, and for some, this alone could be enough to come back to this game. There's total conversion mods that allow you to explore your favorite fantasy worlds. For example, you can conquer Middle-earth, defend Westeros from the Night King, or rebuild the Holy Roman Empire. Or you can just explore the mini armory mods that add new and unique troops and armors, or just add quality of life mods that add subtle changes that suit your personal wants or needs. Modding has not only changed the single player aspect of Bannerlord, but the multiplayer aspect as well. And this brings me to my fourth reason, the multiplayer. We all know that Bannerlord's multiplayer hasn't been what we had all hoped for when it first came out, with the competitive scene being pretty much non-existent and wait times taking to 5 to 10 minutes to join a single game if you're even lucky. So we unfortunately have to turn to mods again if we want an enjoyable multiplayer experience. For example, with mods like Persistent Empires that I mentioned earlier is some of the most fun that you will have on Bannerlord. Joining a faction, working your way up from a peasant to a knight in armor, fighting in large-scale battles where every soldier is a real person is so satisfying and enjoyable. And if that's not your style, you can still find community-hosted events every week where you can fight in large-scale battles and sieges. It's a lot of fun and a great way to be a part of the community. The fifth and final reason I have for you all is creative freedom. I've played a lot of different games, and Bannerlord offers a level of creativity that's just not possible in most games. And I'm not just talking about the character creation menu, as we all know that's a little underwhelming. I'm talking about the game as a whole. The storytelling that's possible with the different kinds of playthroughs that you can have, the style of gameplay, and the modding scene all allow you to use your creativity and play the game however you would like. The amount of stories that have been told on just YouTube alone from different creators is astounding and could only be possible with a handful of different games. I was gonna stop here, but when I was thinking of my fifth and final reason for this list, my mind went to two different places immediately, and I felt like this last reason was an obvious one, but also one I just couldn't leave out. If you're someone who hasn't ever played Bannerlord or someone who hasn't played in a while, now is the perfect time to pick the game back up. Not only for the reasons that we had just talked about, out, but to familiarize yourself with the game again, because Bannerlord is about to receive its first ever DLC, and it's going to be game changing. We've already covered this DLC in previous videos before, but if you somehow haven't heard of it and been living under a rock, you can check it out right here in the top right corner. War Sales, I believe, is going to change Bannerlord forever, whether the DLC is going to be good or bad. Regardless of the outcome, the way that we play Bannerlord, create mods, tell stories, and more will be completely different for us players, which is why I think it's never been better to play Bannerlord now or in the coming weeks when it releases. With the introduction of ships, navigable rivers, and stealth, the possibilities for storytelling and modding is unimaginable, and I can't wait. Whether you're a long-standing Bannerlord fan like me, a brand new player, or just a casual player who plays from time to time, it's never been a better time to play, or at least try out Bannerlord. From creating and sharing stories and playthroughs, to playing in your favorite fantasy worlds, Bannerlord lets you the player decide it all, which is what I think separates itself from other games. All these features found in one game are in common, and one of the main reasons I think we all fell in love with Bannerlord in the first place. It's also another reason why us fans are so hard on Tell Worlds sometimes when it comes to future updates. And if somehow someone from Tell Worlds is watching this, it's because we all know the true potential of this game, and that Tell Worlds is capable of meeting our standards. But if you somehow know someone that is still on the fence about buying Bannerlord, even 4 years in, send them this video to convince them to buy it and finally play with you. Or if you haven't gotten on in a while, this is your sign to hop back on for a new playthrough, or just to check out the new mods that the community has made recently. But I want to know what y'all's experience with Bannerlord has been lately. Do you still play vanilla? Do you currently have a modded playthrough? Or are you on console just looking forward to the new War Sales DLC to finally release? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like bell and subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest Bannerlord news. Most of you watching are not subscribed yet, and it helps out the channel a ton. Also, if you're someone who loves modding Bannerlord, but you want to stay as close as possible to the vanilla experience, check out this video where we go over how you can experience and improve Bannerlord without having to add 100 mods. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.